Next Monday. Yeah, episode 150 will be our live episode.
Serendipitous.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone. What would you like to know about Jorge Dinners?
Jorge That's going in the pre-roll.
You like that?
That's what I thought.
Serendipitous is who's
Jorge Dinners.
Why?
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 8 of 2024. I'm Chris Louie, and happy Year of the Wood Dragon to all our listeners.
What?
We got to open up the year with the family. That's Year of the Dragon, and specifically the Wood Dragon. So it's like Wood Dragon, Gold Dragon, it's different kinds of dragons every 12 years.
So this only happens every 12 years, but it's never the same dragon all those years. How often do they repeat then off of the dragon?
I think there's 6. So 6 times 12, there's every 72 years. So that we won't have another Wood Dragon for another 72 years.
You know why there's not a lot of wood dragons?
Because they burn up the land.
There you go.
Dad joke right off the bat. Good job. 54 seconds
I have
in.
my co-host, the Cloud God, who uses Bruce Lee as his role model, who was also born in the Year of the Dragon.
He's wearing his yellow jumpsuit right now.
Happy Mazel Tov. I don't know what to say to this, but yeah, good to be here, guys.
And we have Glenn Medina, or should we call him Vegas Bound Glenn, or VBG?
That sounds like a vagabond. It's like, what the heck? But yeah, Vegas Bound, heading out to our sales kickoff. FY24 should be very exciting this year.
More like Viagra bound.
Bet it all on black.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever went and just put money down on black?
I have.
Yeah, I played.
Has anyone ever done red? Like I'm not saying like throughout the day and you're playing gambling, but just like walk in the casino, $100 on black, and either win, lose, or you know what I mean?
So
I have not done that, Brian.
You ever seen the guy that bets 50 on black, 50 on red, and it lands on 00?
00. Yep, that's the house edge right there.
Yeah,
like,
that would
earn you.
Should have bet on all 3.
No guess was this week, just us hosts. Combined, we have decades of information security experience out here, not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories for this week, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This week, we're going to start with a correction. Talk about Americans losing a lot of money last year. For our second topic, we'll talk about Apple's new goggles. Then, Trojan apps, and close with Super Bowl commercial talk.
You wrote Googles, Apple's new Googles. You are an idiot.
Apple's new Googles.
Yeah.
The Googles do nothing.
My eyes, the goggles do nothing.
I'm wearing mine.
Someone will
right
get
now.
that reference.
What is that reference to?
Total
The
Recall?
Simpsons, Radioactive Man. The Googles do nothing. Where is Fallout Boy?
I didn't get that. Can you say it again?
Right off the bat, we have to issue a correction to a story we did last week. It appears Fortinet pulled an April Fool's joke on all of us, and there are indeed not 3 million infected smart toothbrushes out there in a botnet taking down Swiss websites. It looks like the source material from Fortinet was a hypothetical war game scenario that didn't actually happen, but could happen. The fact that so many people, including us seasoned cybersecurity professionals, believed it shows it's not outside the realm of possibility. To our credit, I did say it was a boneheaded story.
I think they were just trying to deflect the whole a couple months ago we had a CVE that scored a perfect 10, and then recently we had another CVE that was like an 8.7, right?
You mean the one they dropped last week that was also like a 9.8 or a 10?
Or maybe, yeah, I think you're right. It was 9.8, not an 8.7. But yeah, oh god.
It was an
like, look over here versus over there.
And then Pulse Secure was like, hold my beer. Let me show you what's really going on.
And then they dropped another 0 day. It's like 2024. We're 6 weeks in, and how many 0 days have we had in these VPN appliances?
Oh, God. I'm surprised at how many people are still running them. That's what scares me.
It'll be interesting at RSA, see how many angry customers they get walking up to them at RSA.
Can you imagine? Someone would probably, we're just not gonna have a booth this year.
That's what I was thinking for like Barracuda last year. I'm not surprised Barracuda was at Black Hat. Like, how can you look security professionals in the eye and say you have a secure product?
Can you imagine?
Right?
If they're there, I think we should go talk to them. Just ask them questions. So how hard was it to install that back door? Just like, I mean, it was intentional, right? Like you guys purposely did that.
Quit being mean.
When the 6th 0 day of the year dropped, when there were only 3 weeks in the year, what 4-letter word did you choose to use?
It was starts with S and then balls. I don't want Chris to have to beep it out, and I want our one listener in the world to complain about the beep. So we're going to keep it PG-13 today, team.
We'll do our best. For our first topic, the numbers are in, and Americans lost a record $10 billion to fraud in 2023, according to the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, which tracks consumer losses. And again, this is reported consumer losses. The number is probably much, much higher. This reported number, though, is 14% higher than losses in the previous year, 2022. No surprise here. Investment scams, also known as pig butchering scams, ranked number 1 in losses at $4.6 billion, or almost half of total losses. You guys both watched that movie, The Beekeeper, which was based off these types of tech support scams. What did you think?
Well, you have me confused with Todd because I did not watch The Beekeeper yet. So thanks for ruining it, Chris.
So only Glenn and Todd watched it then. I thought you watched it too.
I thought it was hilarious.
That sales guy.
Yeah, I could see
Chef's
that
kiss.
sales guy.
Chef's kiss. That's exactly how software sales operates.
Damn it. I want to be part of the joke. Or am I just the joke?
It's hilarious. You could insert any sales leader in one of those roles, and it's like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
So-
it doesn't have to be software sales. It could be used cars. It could be
Hardware
widgets.
sales.
But the fact that we know people that actually act like that just makes it all the more hilarious.
Yeah.
I have to imagine that number is a lot bigger than 10 billion because I think if I got scammed, I'm not telling nobody. I think the people that actually complained were dumb enough to do it. Like, man, this is the 3rd time they tricked me into putting money in a paper bag and leaving it at a Greyhound bus stop.
Well, that was me this past weekend. I put my debit card in an ATM machine, and I go there and I always pull on the machine. Mm-hmm. And just the
card reader,
there could be a skimmer on there, and I was just looking at it. It's like, didn't seem right. Something was off about it, and then I go insert it. I do my PIN, and it said PIN error, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Like,
son of a beach ball.
Yeah, and then what did I do?
Buttercup.
I took the other debit card and I stuck it in ATM card. I stuck it in.
You did not.
I got the same error. Yeah, I did. I was like,
Glenn's a slow learner.
Then I saw that. Yeah.
Then your phone blew up. Transaction.
There's a new method, and it's not skimmers. Apparently, they put some kind of reader inside where you can't see inside of the ATM machine where you insert the card, and it was like, oh god,
it's like they shim it or something.
Yeah, I think it's called shimming is what it was.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah.
Was this a bank owned ATM, like your bank?
It was. Yeah.
It wasn't like.
And what was odd is
the Quickie
that
Mart
bank.
one.
Yeah. No. It was a well-known bank.
Wells Fargo. I mean, well known.
And that bank, actually, the ATM machine outside had a skimmer on it about a year ago, and someone found it and then reported it to police. And I was like, "Darn it, this is terrible." So I've been kind of watching my bank and changing.
Is there
cancel or freeze your card? A lot of the apps now let you freeze your card.
Yeah.
Is there like a proximity? Like, does the person that's skimming, do they have to be within a certain distance of the ATM?
I think it saves it on the memory chip, right? On the memory, and you can grab it from there.
Different kinds. There's the ones that save it on the SD card, and then there's the ones that save it in a local memory, and then you just have to be within Bluetooth range and then download the data.
So
I think a lot of gas station ones are like that, and then you'll see some weird guy in a car on a laptop just hoovering up all your credit card data.
is Bluetooth still like 33 feet? Which is total BS. I've walked like 100 feet away from my phone and it still works.
Yeah, I think I'm on like Bluetooth V5 now. I think it's gotten a lot better because, whatever Bluetooth Apple uses, because I'll have my AirPods and I'll walk all throughout the house and not lose signal at all.
The third floor, the east wing.
No kidding.
The pool house.
The pool house.
The pit.
The server
Where he
room.
hides. Yeah.
Wine cellar. Torture room.
We are
Ball gag.
We are seeing a resurgence in crypto prices. I told you guys to invest in Bitcoin. It was under 13K and it's about 50 today. So I think we're going to see more of these. I think when the price of crypto skyrockets, there's a lot of FOMO. And I think you're going to see a rise in these pig butchering scams of people saying, hey, I got this hot investment. Like you see what Bitcoin did, this is going to 2x that. So invest with me. That's going to be something to watch out for.
Invest in the ish coins again. Should we try it? Run it back, boys.
No, thank you.
Yeah. This time, if I do, it'll be like $10 investments. We'll get $100. We'll see how much we can win with that. So,
yeah, some of them are coming back. Definitely not rallying like Bitcoin has been. Should have just bought Bitcoin.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Has anything actually come back?
Way. Yeah.
I mean, they came back. Like, I saw that spell token that we invested in. Like, one day it went up like 40%, but we're still down like 80%.
Oh. What's going on with Poly?
Poly? Yeah, Poly, the Matic coin.
But don't we have to like do something? I think I got a couple notifications. They had to like move it off the platform.
Oh, you didn't switch it? You didn't send it to the Poly bridge? I think it might be gone. I think they closed the bridge on January 31st.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't. It's gone forever.
Maybe you might be able to swap it. I don't know. I sent mine off and I swapped it for Ethereum. But definitely be careful of these pig butchering scams, investment scams. We want to see this number go down. 10 billion, still a staggering number of losses for just average consumers too. For our second topic, the Apple Vision Pro has been released here in the US. Early reviews all seem to consistently agree that it is a very Gen 1 Apple product. The headset is really heavy, the battery life sucks, there are barely any apps available for it. I watched the WSJ review and it seems to have a lot of promise. I personally won't be buying the V1 of this product. Maybe when they get to the size of actual glasses, like the Google Glass. However, there are plenty of videos online of people using them while driving, so that's yet another boneheaded thing we'll have to look out for.
You think there'll be tickets associated with that? It's like, hey, these are my glasses. I don't know what you're talking about. Does that fall under distracted driving?
Well, I mean,
100% falls under distracted driving.
I watched one video where the guy was like playing ping pong with them on. Like I guess the refresh rate's not that great. Like 90 hertz? Is that what it is? Is that a thing?
That's what they said. They said that in the Wall Street Journal video review. They said Apple explicitly says don't do anything dangerous because what you see might not be what's in real life. So someone was like cutting carrots with it, and they said, yeah, don't actually do that. Cut the carrots and then put these things back on. But the reviewer did it, and they said there's no problem with refresh rate or updating in real time.
Go ahead.
I suck at ping pong already, so to watch someone actually play ping pong with the damn glasses on, I was kind of blown away. I think there was a couple killer features though.
There's one guy, right? We saw, was it you, Chris, that shared a guy coming out of his Cybertruck?
Yeah.
And doing a whole bunch of gestures, and then it was like, what the hell is that about? So
he's working while autopiloting a Cybertruck.
Oh, God. It's just a double whammy. So is it true that you cannot see into these, but you can see out of them? That's why if it regenerates your eyes as if you're looking into it, if you're staring at a person that has them on?
That is correct.
Yes.
There's a screen on the outside to mimic your eyes. And I think this thing has like 24 cameras, something crazy like that. There's a lot of inward-facing cameras, a lot of spatial cameras. That's why they said this is by far the best VR headset ever made. But it's like 10 times the price of the Oculus.
people say that your fake eyes that are shining through, it's hard to see. Like it's not like in the Apple ads, like it's a little dull. So,
and they said the avatar feature, since it can't show your face because of the camera, because you have these things on, it recreates your face like a caricature of your face. And I've heard it's really creepy. I know Brian's had firsthand experience with this.
Yeah, well, number one, it actually worked on Zoom. Not even a FaceTime call. Like the guy literally came on in Zoom, and he jokingly, he's like, "Yeah, I know, I look like a corpse." Like he really did, but it was there, it was working. It doesn't take into account like
old woman from Tales from the Crypt.
Right. Oh that was such a great show. Remember Tales from the Hood? No.
Oh no.
Oh man, there was
a different genre movie. Brian.
Oh man, no, it was a banger. I gotta Google this one for you guys real quick. Tales from the Hood, Spice One. It was Born to Die. That song, woo! If you wanted a song to get ready to go fight, or you wanted to get a song to like go lift some weights, dunk a ball, shoot. Actually, you know what? The next time I get ready to go do like a crazy workout, I'm gonna listen to that song. That song was freaking
nice.
I gotta listen to it right now. I'll be right back. I'm just kidding.
So you're welcome, Brian. All right, back to Zoom. Back to Zoom.
So Chris is not buying one. Deech, you buying one?
No, I think it's like the fall of society. I will say that there is a killer feature, and I think that the one thing that would probably make me actually buy it, and I think I would only use it in the office, is like when you connect it to your Apple or to your MacBook, the screen goes dark. And then you can basically maximize the screen to any size that you want, and then you can look, pan left and right, and have multiple
wall. Yeah, your monitor. Yeah,
like that
was a pretty cool feature.
And then you also still get to be like you can use the on-screen keyboard, which isn't perfect, but you can use the keyboard on your computer or the mouse, and like it will work. And it will even go across your MacBook to the native Vision Pro apps. Like that could be really freaking useful, especially like on a plane, which would be insane to wear that. But like I don't know, and that was the other thing. So if you can see people's eyes, but if you go in full immersion, then it does like this gloss over, whereas this blue, which means to the person looking at you, they know that you can't really see them because like you're like in this 3D world entirely. Now, if someone comes up close enough to you, they kind of like morph into your screen, but it's kind of it's definitely different, that's for sure.
I don't think I'd ever want to go in full immersion unless I knew I was by myself, because the amount of things that I would do to someone that was in full immersion,
to mess with them,
to mess with them. Oh, dude, it would be too much fun, too easy.
I can't wait to see someone walking around the office with one of these things on and like trip them or something.
But I think it's the cost. The barrier for me is the cost. If it was like $1,000, I think it was like $1,000. But $3,500. That's like a MacBook Pro on steroids, right? I mean, something that really can compute.
That's probably how much I paid for my almost maxed out MacBook Pro. I got a lot of utility out of that too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's the price for me.
Yeah, the price is it's a lot. Yeah.
I think they said if you do the Apple Card no interest financing, I think it's like $250 a month.
That's the price of a used car. That's the price of a cheap car.
No, not anymore, buddy. That's
hey.
Back when we used to buy cheap cars. Maybe not the type of
car that you buy, but it's definitely the type of car that I buy.
All right, Glenn, go out and buy a $3,500 car. Go buy a $3,500 car. Like I remember doing that 5 years. Wait, let me think about that. 7 years ago, that was a pretty decent car. Not anymore. That thing is a hunk of crap.
Well, I was just thinking, like, maybe 5 years ago, pre-COVID, you can get like one of those Prius little C's, the little compacts, for like $199 a month, right? Little they tell you it was like 60 months, right, or 72 months. But
I remember when you get one of those little Fiat Electrics for $99 a month, you could lease them.
Yeah. So
not anymore.
Probably not.
Dude, my kids would never in a million years be able to lease a vehicle. All right, two things. Number one, I got an oil change on my truck today. How much do you think that cost?
On your Cybertruck?
Your truck?
Yeah, my truck. The Bronco Raptor, yeah.
$800.
No, probably $250.
$24.95. Don't ask me why. But that was just wild.
From the dealership or from a
$24 or $22,400.
Yeah.
Both are within reason.
Yeah, no, $24.95. It was like a sale for some reason. I have no idea. It
dealership or dealership?
No, I went to Big O Tire. Yeah.
All right, yeah. There you go. Do you use full synthetic or is it just the off the shelf?
So oddly enough, it was a synthetic blend. For the factory actually called for a synthetic blend, which is weird. I mean, it wasn't full synthetic. That's the other reason. But anyways, going back to my kids, my son, he's like an anomaly. Maybe he could lease a vehicle. He only drove 448 miles in January, but my one daughter drove 1,472 miles, and then my other daughter drove 1,622 in a month.
Wow.
They're in the vehicles all the damn time.
So it's not
Hey,
that
let's take a step back here.
Cost.
Wait a minute. I think we missed something here. So Brian is always calling Glenn and I out for not doing manly stuff. So Brian, the cloud god, does not change his own motor oil on a truck where you could literally slide under and pop the oil plug out.
So let me ask you this: can I buy an oil filter and oil for $24.95?
Yeah.
No, you can't.
I haven't had to change my oil for the last
7
years.
quarts.
I don't know what oil
7
prices
quarts.
are.
It's impossible to do.
So I'm gonna rephrase this question for you. So these quickie lube oil change shops, whatever, right? Low salary. I've seen them pop bolts off and tighten bolts with an air drill. Like, no way are these guys touching or cross thread the oil plug. It's like, nah, I don't want these guys touching that, right? So,
I too have experienced that, but fortunately for this one, my brother-in-law has been running this particular one for 20 years. So when my vehicle shows
that's
up,
a different story.
It's
Yeah,
a good
you get the friends and family discount there. That's different, Brian.
But when you see him go underneath your car and go, brr, 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 and you're like, hey.
Hey now.
That's always a weird one, right? Because I remember one time we had this old van and someone cross-threaded it. It didn't leak until I went and get the second oil or the follow-up oil change. And they're like, well, you got to take it back to the other place. Well, I'm like, how the hell am I going to do it? This thing's leaking oil everywhere. They're like, well, we could rethread it. We got to spend all this money. I'm like, oh, all right, I'm not going to go for the cheapest
oil
thing
pan.
anymore.
Yeah.
But the dealership would have been $79. So.
Yeah. All right, so you're doing it from a frugality percent, but still, another man touched your truck, Brian.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Not for that. Plus, I don't know where to put the oil. Now I gotta take it. What's that?
You go in the engine bay. There's a little cap on it that says oil. You turn
No. What do you do with the old
counterclockwise.
oil, assholes? You can't just throw it away. You got to take it somewhere and have it properly disposed.
You take it back to the
Take it to a
store
Napa
where
Auto
you bought
Parts,
the oil.
O'Reilly Oil. They all, I think by law, they all have to
They'll
accept.
recycle, yeah.
Again,
They all recycle oil.
it's a lot of time wasted.
And some of them, if you call the people who pick up your garbage, they'll drop off a milk jug or two so that way you can put it back in there and then put it with your garbage outside and they'll take it away for you.
I'll find out about that. That's actually pretty cool because I actually have oil from the razor that I changed that one because that was just real easy. But I'm like, I don't know what to do with this oil. It's got this.
You paint
jug
your
of
fence
oil.
with it. Lots of good stuff you could do with it.
Well, what's funny? Like that's like
recycle
a good. If you mix old oil with diesel fuel, it is good for like weatherproofing.
Creosote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you say
the
for your
old-timers
soul?
Method. Yeah, so creosol, something like creosol. That's what they used to. Yeah, that's definitely an old.
That's not pressure treating. What's that called when you do that for wood? I guess it. You know what I'm talking about?
It's not PT because you're not pressurizing it.
Yeah, and that's the old way of doing it. Like so when the old
Chemical
ranchers
treatment,
back in the day, they would
Yeah.
soak wood in that. Yeah, and that stuff would last 100 years. So again, we are recording a podcast, guys, on the Vision
Apple
Pros.
goggles being used for a mechanic. It's sort of like the HoloLens. I remember the demo of the HoloLens as this guy's building a motorcycle. He can overlay where this fender needs to go. He can see exactly which bolts he needs and where they go. And I can imagine the Vision Pro being used for productivity reasons.
You're
Just
almost being
gathering
like
data,
Tony Stark, right? That's like pretty cool.
like Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm with Chris though.
Maybe at that point.
Once they get to the point where they can work like glasses, I think I'm in. I got to experience. I want to try them on. I want to see what it's like to have that. I mean, because like on the video that you watch, you're like, oh yeah, like it's a massive screen. But the reality is like it's a half an inch away from your eyeball, but it's looking like that. That's got to be incredible.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what.
Experience.
You come to the Apple store in San Francisco, you just put them on and just walk out. No one's going to stop you. So
sure.
You can try that.
Yeah, that or Berkeley or Oakland, one of those places.
Is that because my stature, Glenn? I'm so intimidating. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's because they're not stopping anyone from taking away.
He's like a skinny, short guy. He stuffed 50 iPhones in his pants, walked out, walked right past the cop car. Didn't even have a getaway driver. He just double parked his Kia, probably stolen. He's probably a Kia boy, and just drove off.
With a cop car in front of the store. That's what's so amazing.
My wife was watching a video earlier. It's some dude going in like a Walgreens, and this in it like a regular old citizen just like stops him and like takes him to the ground. He's like put the chocolates down. And the guy's like fighting him. He's like I don't give an F. He's like, I'm not an employee. You can't be stealing from here. And then the Walgreens employees kicked him out. Not the dude that was stealing, the guy that was protecting.
That's the Samaritan.
Terrible. That's terrible.
That was definitely not in California, because in California you would get charged for assaulting the thief.
That was definitely in California.
It was probably why they kicked the guy out of the store.
Dude, we're gonna save you right now.
It's just not worth it. Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, we're going to RSA. Should be fun.
So what's the verdict? After you get it, version 2, version 3, you may be in after it costs $10,000 because they've raised the price. I mean,
no, it's got to come down.
I'm more of the form factor. Yeah, price has to come down and the form factor has to shrink.
At what point do you spend the money? Forget monthly payments because we're not doing that. At what point do you say that's affordable?
It's got to be. It's got to have more apps.
Yeah, even the V1 version, I'd pay like $1,700, maybe $2,000 in its current state.
I mean, you're talking to the guy that also bought. You're talking to the guy that also bought, like several iPad Pros, right? And justifies that it's for work, right? So, I mean, I don't mind spending the money. It's got to have some value to it that I think that's intrinsic that I'll be able to use, and I do use the heck out of my iPads. So.
Yeah, same. I spend a lot of money on this MacBook, but I use it 16 hours a day every day.
Yeah.
Okay, 16 hours a day. You're just driving your daughter to swim practice. I'm sure you can take it with you.
I did take it with me. I was doing work on it during swim class. Funny you should mention that, Brian.
So if I could justify it, that I could use it as a work expense, not have work pay for it, but just like be able to use it as like a write-off at the end of the year, even then I'm still like, I don't know, man. That's a lot of money. Because that's not $4,000 off the top, right? Like that's a fraction of what you're actually paying as a write-off. Yeah,
plus tax, and I would have to buy the glasses insert too.
Why is that? Oh, because you can't.
I can't see without. I'd have to wear contacts all the time.
You four-eyed freak.
It'd be cool if it would like self-magnify, so you don't have to worry about it.
I know. So that would be cool. Self-correcting, right? It would adjust the cameras for you, and you wouldn't have to wear glasses anymore. See, I could see that. Like if you get the glasses form factor and then auto adjust it for you, like you don't need, like anyone could put it on. It's not prescription specific. Like,
that doesn't have audio with it too, does it? You still have to have your own audio built inside there.
No, it has audio.
It has audio. But if you want privacy, like if you don't want everyone hearing your Zoom call, then you need AirPods.
Oh, that's stupid. Right. Why not just build AirPods?
How about this?
Because,
go ahead.
I was going to say, because Glenn, it would cost $200 more if they built AirPods into this thing.
Ugh, that just makes me not want to buy the product at all. It's like, come on, you give me eyes and you give me speakers for that. And like, I don't want to see speakers. I want to put this thing like an AirPods, right?
I want a full haptic suit, please.
That's right.
Included with this purchase.
That haptic feedback, full.
Kick me in the nuts and steal my wallet at the same time, right? So that way I know at least you were ripping me off.
With the omnidirectional treadmill.
Would you actually, like, let's say you had like a haptic thing and you were playing like, I don't know, Warzone, some crazy game, and if somebody actually did kick you in the balls, would you want to actually feel that pain? Like, you want to be that real?
I don't know.
I want it to be immersive. I think that'd be cool.
You guys have watched Ready Player One, right? And you kind of see that. It kind of looks like that as well.
I would need cheat codes, though, because all these teenagers would just be, like, beating the crap out of me all the time.
I don't know. Like, the other day I was getting out of my truck, and I shouldn't say getting in, and I sat on one of my nuts. Ugh. I was in pain. I thought I was going to fall over, man. Oh, jeez. Like, it was terrible.
The nuts from the engine that you were working on, or just...
All right, question for both of you guys.
Nuts, right? That's what you're talking about.
Moving on. Gosh darn it. All right, so let's say I can get you the pair of goggles from Apple for $2,500, right? Or for $49.95, I can get you Neuralink. Which one do you want?
God, you sound like the guy on...
I want an implant in my brain. I want something that's removable easily.
I'm taking the implant, baby. Let's go.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's like Johnny Mnemonic over here.
Yeah, it's got to be all funny until I meet up with Brian, then I break out the Flipper Zero and I make like Rick roleplay in his head the whole time.
No. I will be able to read your thoughts and everything. You'll be like, oh, I know Chris's social security number now. And just like, it's going to be bad news.
But what the funny thing is, he'll take out his Flipper Zero and start making you do all kind of whack stuff.
Yeah, I'll make you do like the moonwalk or something.
So far, the only thing that he's done remotely interesting is he cloned a hotel key. So he ain't touching the Neuralink. I'm sorry, you're giving him way too much credit.
Wait! I thought he cloned also his Tesla key.
No,
parts of it. There's parts of it. Yeah, you can't clone the signal as far as I know yet. It's like we can open like any charge port.
You can open a charge port, but not the actual.
Not the actual car. Yeah. Yeah, there's some people in our company Slack that they're saying some interesting things you could do. Like Subaru has rolling codes, so it changes every time you click the clicker. But their definition of a rolling code is they increment the sequence number by 1 every time you click it. So it's very predictable of what the next code is. So you can open up a Subaru, you capture someone's code, increment it by 1, you can unlock their car for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more impressed that people actually own Subarus.
Right?
Rolling code is supposed to be random. There's supposed to be entropy and make it extremely random. But incrementing by 1 is technically a rolling code, but it has very, very low entropy.
Well, like garage door openers, some of them are supposed to be rolling codes too, right? So
same idea.
Like the Chamberlains,
I think they're all,
aren't they? You want a static code for that for sure.
Yeah. No, not static. They are rolling codes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So.
All right, 2 more topics. Let's actually skip topic 3 because I think topic 4 is going to go for a bit. Okay. If we have time, we'll come back to it, Glenn. But I think topic 4 is very timely, so we should do it this week.
All right. Stinking Brian.
All right, for our last topic, it'll be a rotating topic every week. This week, as is our tradition every year, we're going to talk about our best and worst Super Bowl ads this year. Unfortunately, our San Francisco 49ers lost the Super Bowl in overtime due to a touchdown. There are actually some reports that say the 49ers didn't understand the new overtime rules. They did change it recently. And I guess I can blame that all I want. But we did lose, but there were some pretty good ads this year. So what were some?
What do you mean they didn't understand it? Like, that's your job.
It changed though, because the old rules, like when Tom Brady won it in overtime, it was the first possession touchdown automatically wins. That was the rule. But the new rule was even first possession touchdown, the other team gets an opportunity. So that's why the Niners chose to receive first, because they thought if they could drive a touchdown, they'd automatically win. But then even that being the case, it wasn't true. So if they thought about it strategically, they should have received second, and that would have been more advantageous to them, because they would have known if KC scored a touchdown or a field goal, and they can drive towards that.
But come on, guys!
No, I'm receiving that.
That's a bunch of crap, though, right? I mean, you guys get paid to do this, millions of dollars, right?
You know, and they give that dude a lot of crap for missing the field goal, like low kick or not. That defensive line, man, they were. I think he blocked it with his elbow. Like, he was up on it. Yeah. Like I don't know that he really.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know that he blocked it.
The guy had not missed until that point,
block
right?
Punt.
So
Again, just a bad luck year for us.
Yeah. As in Chris would say, it was a conspiracy theory. You know, like they wanted the back-to-back. They want Mahomes to have another one so he can chase, the
the Tom
GOAT.
Brady dynasty,
LeBron.
and
Yeah.
they wanted the whole Taylor Swift thing that brings in tons of ratings for the NFL.
Can we talk real quick that I couldn't get logged into either FanDuel or DraftKings, and thank God, because every bet that I was in a place would not have happened at all. Like I would have lost. I thought for sure Purdy
Divine
was throwing a
intervention,
pick.
Brian.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You are lucky.
I
Were
was
you
sure
messing with-
Purdy was going to throw a pick. 2 fumbles, though. 2 fumbles, like, right off the bat. That was
On each side.
unexpected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had McCaffrey scoring a touchdown. Forget the other ones. Yeah, I think there was about 6 bets I was going to play. A couple of them were just like outlandish, right? Tails never fails would have got me some money though.
Yeah, but okay. So back to the top
ads.
Top ads.
Let's go. I guess we'll do your favorites first.
Well, I think everything after halftime sucked, so I don't remember anything good.
The only thing I remember repeatedly was the Purdy Toyota commercial. It's like, where's the other American car dealerships inside here, or the American car manufacturers? They had no part in this one. Yeah, Ford and GM didn't have anything, which was a surprise.
I remember watching I don't know if this is the best. Maybe we'll call it the worst, or the most questionable. I was watching the Michelob Ultra. I was like, wow, this is I don't understand it. And then my daughter's like, Dad, that's Messi. I was like, oh, who the heck is Messi?
Lionel
She's
Messi,
like,
Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Dan
What was the
Marino.
other
But
one? Even Bud Light was like, they tried to make a comeback from this whole issue that they had last year, but I don't think they made any strides.
I thought it was a pretty good commercial.
I put that down as one of the worst ones. Bud Light, I agree with Glenn. They were trying way too hard. They were going to blow their entire budget on this thing. And even online, I saw lots of collabs with Bud Light. Like, they were really, really, really trying to turn the brand around and push.
Did you guys notice at the
image.
beginning of the game, or before the game, they went for a lot of tear jerker moments, like just trying to make you feel like, oh God, like what are they doing here? So
yeah,
I remember that was a Super Bowl at maybe 6 or 7 years ago, where the joke was like, I came here to watch football, I didn't come here to feel, and there's just lots of like emotional commercials.
Yeah, but I am going to say this. One of the more memorable, non-impressed ones was, like I said, I love them as a company. I love their product. CrowdStrike, I don't know what you were thinking with that commercial, and you spent millions of dollars on that thing, and it's like
at least seven. It was $7 million for 30 seconds this year.
Yeah, and I didn't understand that at all. And that goes to say, like, my friend who's not in tech was like, who the heck is CrowdStrike and what do you do? And that commercial had nothing to do with what they do or even what they know about you as a company, right? So, and you don't even sell the consumer market, so
it's enterprise.
Yeah,
I mean it was pretty ballsy.
That's like
to do,
Salesforce. That's like Salesforce selling an ad at the Super Bowl. They're enterprise SaaS too. Like, your average consumer is not going to buy Salesforce.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the bot.
The joke I sent you guys in the group chat was that Usher was sweating at halftime, just like the CrowdStrike marketing team sweating over the ROI of that Super Bowl commercial.
Maybe and maybe they are going after a consumer market after this. Who knows?
Doubt it. Enterprise SaaS really goes down market. Like, Salesforce is the SaaS company, and they've never done anything consumer.
They don't really have a market for
different.
It, though.
Yeah, but that's
Endpoint
different,
security.
though, right? I mean, CrowdStrike could actually sell endpoints as an add-on to your own consumer, right? To your personal device. You could replace Symantec. You could replace McAfee. You can replace
Symantec doesn't even do endpoint anymore.
No, Norton.
Now.
Sorry, Norton.
I mean, on the consumer side, I mean.
Yeah, back to Norton. Yeah.
I think it'd be
McAfee, the crapware that they sell. Trend sell. Maybe Trend. Yeah, Trend Micro, the one of the few that span both. Kaspersky, Sophos. They span both.
I think there's only upside for CrowdStrike going to consumer, to be honest with you. Maybe not their entire product suite, but just
completely different sales model, different marketing models, different support models. It'd be challenging. I don't think it'd be worth it.
Take away all the fluff.
So much of the enterprise.
It's antivirus. They could be the Windows Defender of like cool security stuff. So I don't know. I think there's some value in that.
It's funny because when I was researching this story, I was looking at top Super Bowl ads. Like every mainstream media put CrowdStrike's ad at the very, very bottom. And then there's people on like CRN just praising, oh, CrowdStrike is so brave. They're so visionary. This ad campaign was so amazing. They're so forward thinking. And it's just interesting to see, the mainstream media versus security people being plugged into it.
Well, you know what's really crazy is apparently some Temu website that I've never heard of has more money than God. I think they had 3 commercials and then a bunch of like 5 to 15 second spots throughout there. 3 commercials on some crap I've never heard of.
There were 5 total. That was again rated one in the bottom according to the mainstream media articles that I found. I put that in the worst. So Temu is a cheap Chinese goods marketplace.
Like Amazon.
Think of like a $2 hat or a $3 shirt. But their tagline was like "Shop like a billionaire." I'm like, I don't think billionaires are buying like $2 shirts that are made in China. The message didn't resonate at all. Same ad 5 times. People hated it.
Shop like a 5-year-old that just found $50. That's what it should have said.
That's probably more accurate. All right,
Did
so
you guys
my
see...
favorite
go ahead.
would be, I really like the Dunkin' Donuts one, the Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Tom Brady. They paid $7 million to air it. I think they paid Affleck like $10 million to do it. So that was a pretty expensive one, but I liked it. I really enjoyed that one.
You think it's Matt Damon to do it for free? Well, he got paid
with J-Lo.
I think Brady was so desperate to get back into the Super Bowl. This was his only way in.
We talked about it before the show, but the Arnold Schwarzenegger State Farm commercial, neighbor, like a good neighbor. Neighbor.
Funny.
Neighbor.
This
That's
woman's
why I
in
said
labor.
neighbor. Yeah.
Neighbor.
And then bringing it back to Danny DeVito, the twin. You're a backstabber. I thought that was a good one.
That was pretty good. I forget what I don't know if it was a movie that's coming out, or something, but it was for Twisters. Do you guys remember that?
Oh yeah, the Twister. I don't know if it's a reboot or if it's a sequel. At
So
this point, who cares? But yeah, that's all Hollywood does.
So fun fact. So F5 back in the day, they were known as big IP, and the reason why is they were doing low balancing, right? So it was you have a bunch of small IPs, but you have a big IP, right? Which is your virtual server. But they got the idea for the name F5 Networks from the original movie Twister, because you had an F5 tornado, right? And so that's where they got the name. It's a little fun fact.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good. Today I learned, Brian.
Today I learned. Yeah. Got to bring it back. This is a tech podcast, boys. Can be boring people.
Hey, so did you guys see a breakaway? Maybe, I don't know, maybe it was in my area, but I saw a commercial for a bail bondsman. Did you guys see that?
I did not. No,
that's
local.
That seems very local.
Yeah, I was like, how did a bail bondsman get 5 seconds a time? Like, it was pretty crazy.
There's probably like a slot right before it, and they come back to break where they can sell local ads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that was something that Deadpool that was super clever. Rather than show like a 3-minute trailer, they're just like, go watch it online, idiots. We'll save some money.
I put that in here as well. The Deadpool Wolverine teaser, and not just Deadpool Wolverine, but I think almost all the movie trailers says go online for the full trailer because they didn't want to spend the $7 million for another 30 seconds. And you can just stream it online now just to tease people.
There were a bunch of movies, right? Movie previews as well.
Yeah, Deadpool Wolverine, the Wizard of Oz one, I think was another one.
Who's Wolverine?
Was another.
Who's playing that?
I'm not sure, actually. We'd have to go online to watch the full trailer.
You didn't watch it?
Anymore, right?
I haven't watched it yet.
I thought he was done, but maybe he's going to get super jacked again.
He said he is. He said he wouldn't play Wolverine again, so it's most likely going to be somebody else.
No, it's Hugh Jackman, according to the internet.
Huh. All right, maybe he took the money.
I take the money too, shoot. It's incredible, what he looked like back in the day before the Wolverine breakouts. Like, he was just like the skinny little twerp, and that he's like, I've been on a great diet. Not doing anything.
I work out.
Illegal.
Yeah.
The other misses for me, I would say, right before the Super Bowl, there was a menopause medicine commercial. I hate pharmaceutical commercials in general, but this one was awful.
Is that Pfizer?
Pfizer did one. It got highly rated in the mainstream media, but I did not care for it. I thought it was dumb.
Yeah.
The Snapchat one where they're just says, use less social media, use more Snapchat. That could not have missed the mark more for me. I thought that was really stupid.
I agree.
Waste of money. Halo Season 2. I can't believe that turd of a show on Paramount got renewed for another season. I'll give it another chance. I'm invested this far. I guess I'll continue it and see if they took the feedback from Season 1 and turned it around.
I liked it. I like Season 1. I don't know why.
I think you didn't play the games, did you, Glenn?
No.
Okay, so it deviated strongly from the lore of the games, which I think upset me. Like things like Master Chief never takes off his helmet. Within like the first 30 seconds of episode 2, he takes off his helmet. So that was a big miss for me. The romance scene, like Master Chief is supposed to be this Spartan, trained from birth to be this ultimate warrior, yet he falls in love with this alien woman. Like that, it doesn't line up with the lore correctly for me.
Gotcha. Bunch of movies do that. They deviate from the book or
the source material.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Game of Thrones. Same idea with seasons 1 through 4 of Game of Thrones based on the books because George R. R. Martin wrote it, and then after that, George R. R. Martin is too busy counting his money, so D&D had to make their own material for seasons 5 through 8, and you could see a dramatic drop off in quality. And then TurboTax, I think they're an evil corporation. I didn't like any of their ads, and I think the trend overall, I think there was a lot more focus on women this year, and I chalk it up to the Taylor Swift effect that there's a lot of first-time women watching football this year because of Taylor Swift, so I think they wanted to cater to that audience. That's just probably why they had menopause medicine on there and that Dove commercial about girls quitting sports.
That irritated me a lot that they panned more to Taylor Swift during parts of the show, and I was like, come on, I want to watch the game. Stop panning over there for her reaction. It's like, please stop it. So
I will say, as a dad that had a 14-year-old daughter, well, now she's 15, about the quitting sports, I guess I could a little bit more sympathetic to that.
It is. Like, I didn't say it was a bad thing, but that ad ran specifically this year, I would say, because of the whole Taylor Swift effect.
Yeah. I was so my daughter loves Taylor Swift. Like she is all in. She's going to go to the concert coming up here in Arizona. And so we sat down and watched the game. I'm like, this is going to be like 2016. She's picking the wrong team here. And and I was like, so she had brought a friend. And I was like, all right, who you guys rooting for? And she's like, oh, we're going for the 49ers. I was like, really? I was like, I thought you liked Taylor Swift. She's like, I like her music, but she sucks, Dad. I'm like, all right. I don't know why you think that, but all right, I'm down.
Yeah.
Fewer alcohol commercials this year. Last year was the alcohol bowl because it was the first year that Budweiser didn't have a monopoly on it. But I think this year were way fewer. I think there was a beer commercial here and there. They had the Michelob one and a bunch of Anheuser-Busch ones just to try to turn their image around. But no, I don't think there were any hard liquor ads this year.
No hard liquor. Yeah, I don't remember any. So, overall, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little disappointed with all the commercials. So I thought they were all kind of
I tuned out after the second half. I was like, these all. The
other theme I would say is everybody played it safe this year. They were very safe. There's nothing edgy. There's nothing I would consider controversial. I think they played it safe after, maybe 2 years? Maybe it was the 2020. There were a lot of highly controversial commercials. And then with the whole Bud Light thing, I think people did not want to get into that being associated with their brand. So I think they played it very safe this year, which is probably why we got bland commercials.
Yeah.
So
but that's not
you guys know.
Right? You either hit it or don't. So.
Just like GoDaddy with Danica Patrick. Like, remember how edgy those commercials were? Like, we don't get anything like that nowadays.
No.
Chris, I love exploiting women, so not this year.
I never said it was a good thing. I'm just saying those are the types
true.
of commercials they used to do, and now everybody just plays it safe.
So I will go on record and I will say that I think Shane Gillis is a freaking hilarious comedian. He's very, I don't know, he's out there. But one of the things that kind of interesting about him is that he was a frequent visitor of Joe Rogan. and they would do like an episode called Protect Our Parks. And every time he'd come on there, he would like sit there and drink 30 Bud Lights. And so when the whole thing was going on, the controversy, he's like, yeah, I don't give an F. He's like, I just want to drink my Bud Lights. He's like, I don't really care. So he kind of sticks to his guns. Bud Light does a 180 on stuff. I think they sign with the UFC, blah, 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 try to, redo their brand. And now Shane, who didn't turn his back on Bud Light, he's now being sponsored by them. I don't know if you guys know that. So
he's going to be a brand ambassador.
Oh, yeah. He's like a brand ambassador. So he was on the other day on Joe Rogan, and they're kind of bringing it up. And, they're having this conversation about him going to Anheuser-Busch and getting to see the horses and stuff. And one of the comedians on there made a joke. They're like, oh, yeah, so when the time was rough, did they take the horses out there and shoot them? And they're all kind of laughing. And Shane's like, he goes, that's a funny joke, but it's a very expensive one. He's like, I have no comment. I was like, oh, he's just going to, I'm going to lean this way. But funny dude. But yeah, I
All right, the last comment I think I'll make on this. I don't think I said this one, but I have it here. The worst commercial is the whole washing the feet, the Jesus Gets Us commercials. I think that's a total waste of money. I last year's and this year's, that was weird.
I mean, I guess where they're coming with it. I think you can do a lot more money with. I don't like. What's the ROI on that? Did you spend $7 million on that, and now you're going to generate $700 million and a lot of goodwill towards a bunch of people that actually need it? Or do you just blow $7 million and piss off a bunch of people on ads,
Exactly. It has the opposite
and I think,
effect.
unfortunately, I think it's the latter.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, Glenn's up.
Ooh, I'm not prepared.
Liar.
I only warned you about this yesterday.
I did my joke at the beginning. What's he talking about? We're gonna have to edit
I have
this
one.
thing out.
I got one for you, Glenn.
I'm not editing this out. This is comedy gold, Glenn. It's
Oh my
always
gosh.
Glenn.
I know. I suck.
All right.
Okay.
I'll bail you out, buddy.
I'll trade with you. There you go. I'll do it. next
Okay.
week.
I'm going to, you guys, this will be so good because it is so, I can't act. All right. So what did Yoda say when he saw himself on a 4K TV?
I know this one. I won't spoil it, though.
Okay.
What do you say?
HDMI. I can't do his voice, but you get it.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Wow,
Nice.
wow.
In the spirit of Kobe's joke last week, this one was actually told to me by someone I met at New Hire. Why did the tomato blush? Because it saw the salad dressing.
Oh. Wow. Good job.
All right, the two of us bailed you out, Glenn. You owe us.
Yes, thank you. I'll have
Go
to next
Aztecs.
week. That's right.
All right, to wrap things up, toothbrushes are not forming a botnet yet.
They could.
Be vigilant of online fraud and scams. The Apple Vision Pro is a very Gen 1 product. And like a good neighbor. That's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Find us all on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to all our listeners and subscribers who rate us 5 stars in the iTunes Store and Spotify and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast on your favorite podcast listening app. For my co-hosts Brian Deitch and Glenn Medina, I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next week. And as always, have a nice day.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Have a nice day.